people. We enjoy controlling other people. The domineering spirit, as a society, we enjoy it. We want people to look up to us for their daily bread. We want them to be enslaved to us. So the idea of empowering these people is the last thing we want to talk about. Because when we empower them, we're going to feel insecure. We feel that they're going to come take over our jobs. We feel that they're not going to listen to whatever we got to say to them anymore, because now they can do just what they want to do for themselves. So the best thing to do is like give them a little food, little medication, a little place to sleep, and that's it. That's okay. We will fix you. Anytime, any day, come around, I'll take care of you. But you don't call the man and say, I'm tired of helping you.
I need to help you so you
can help yourself.
Exactly.
And it happens even in a relationship. A typical Liberian woman, you know, in the home, said, my friend, you're supposed to be taking care of me. You marry me, you have to take care of me. You love the I don't know, the monkey.
You gotta love the tail.
You gotta love the tail. So my whole family, my uncles, my grandfather, my mother, when they come here, they need to live with me in the house, and you must provide food to feed all of them.
So Eric, how do we change this kind of cultural, at a national level first, and then on an individual basis? Because dependency syndrome, as it's described here, is a problem in Africa, where an African country does not even believe in her own ability. With all the natural resources we have, we are not even making a thing. No, we have the largest rubber farm in the world since 1926.
And yet you have no rubber buckets.
We cannot even produce a single rubber bucket. Because what's wrong?
Well, until we get to a point of restlessness, we get to a point of being dissatisfied with the status quo, to a point of selflessness, to say enough is enough. I'm tired of people begging me. That's the only reason why I left from the States to come back to Liberia. I would be in America today sending money to all of my family members, to all of my friends. But the question is, the day I cannot send that money,
how do you survive?
How do you survive? The guy that is depending on Eric Wowoh to take care of him, or the woman that is depending on Eric Wowoh to take care of her, to buy her Wowoh, buy her attachment, do her makeup, buy her clothes. You know, the day I cannot do any of those things, maybe due to some accident, or I broke my legs, or I was involved in a car accident, I can no longer speak. What do you do? Now, if you can answer that question, then of course you have the answer of how to break the back of dependency, which starts with what? The investment, investing into people's lives. This is the lie that we all have had over the years, and it has not worked wherever we took it from. That's the lie that talks about individual pursuit of happiness. Or the lies that says that you don't need Luther Tarpeh, you got you. You don't need your neighbor. That came from the Western world, which is, it may have worked for them for a little while, but right now we all know it's not working anymore. The community was left out. And that's what they call the material prosperity world, what they call the American dream. Big car, big house, big bank account.
That you can pursue by yourself.
For yourself.
As an individual.
I am Eric Wowoh because of my bank account. I'm Eric Wowoh because of my job. I'm Eric Wowoh because of the kind of car I drive. That has caused a serious problem in the Western. I live there and I see what's going on. Your next door neighbor, you don't even know his name. But you guys live together for over 20 years. You don't know that person's name. You only think about that person the day you run into a problem. And you need your neighbors to help.
That's very frustrating for me.
It's very frustrating. Yeah. That is the model we have taken for a poor nation that has absolutely nothing. So Luther Tarpeh is the man. You hear Liberians say things like, I'm the most educated person in my entire family.
You should be ashamed.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Definitely.
Or you hear the guy say, you know, I'm the most important person in the land. Even the elected officials forgetting to remember that, you know what, I wouldn't have been what I am today in this office had it not been for the community, the local people who brought me up here, because they couldn't get to come here by themselves. So I'm here to represent their interests. I have this car that I've been given to drive today, not because of my own money, but because of the money from the community. So my paycheck, my gas slip, my everything that I'm benefiting from today, from when I speak, people listen to me, I go to meetings, I travel out of the country. Who's making all of that possible? Somebody invested into your life. And that is the people at the grassroots.
Okay. Mr. Wowoh, let's talk about the effects that dependency syndrome has on what I call different different variables in our nation. Let's look at if a nation, if people are meant to depend on politicians to meet their daily needs, how does that do damage to the political system of the country? If people are always depending on a politician, what happens?
The politician creates the problem.
How?
The problem is created during the time of election campaigning.
Okay.
Well, I want you to elect me to be your next representative.
Yeah.
Why should we elect you? You should elect me because
I give you some few better rights.
I'll give some rights to eat. And secondly, I'm going to build your roads. And after building your roads, I'm going to brush your teeth, give you toothpaste. I'm going to make sure you have a clinic. I'm going to make sure you have a nice sleeping place, free education for all of your children. Come and see me anytime, any day. I'll be available at your service to meet any needs that you may have.
So it's not manipulative.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's a business transaction. And he honestly think that he can do all of those things
because he gives some handouts.
Because he gives some handouts. So he enjoys doing it. He enjoys doing it. Everybody enjoys playing that kind of a game. It's a mind game. And the people down there, because they're not educated, they don't have the information, they're not exposed, they say, well, yeah.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. He came from America. He speaks American English, or he speaks British English. He graduated from some of the best universities you can think about in the world. Yeah. So he is the solution to my problem. I don't need to do anything anymore. I just need to sit down, and when he becomes elected,
he will take care of me.
He will take care of me. So it's both ways. The people depending on the society because the society have given them the impression that they have the answers to their problems.
Indeed. Well, you're listening to Family and Society here with J. Luther Tarpeh here. And I'm in conversation with Mr. Eric Wowoh. And we're discussing the trend of dependency syndrome. Those of you out there, you think you're depending on politicians. You know, we always hear this, oh, the promise that they were going to get power. This is what they will do to me. This is what they will do for me. They will do this and do that. And found out that they are not able to do it. And so, Liberians, it is time that we give us careful thought to what we are doing. Depending on people to meet your needs, it's going to blind your eye.
And it kills your potential.
Exactly.
Your own person. And your potential is all that you have. You don't have anything else. There's something about your life. There's something on the inside of you that is the answer to your poverty and everything.
God has deposited that.
Something inside of you.
Yes.
Well, when you start depending on other people, you lose sense of that. So you're going to settle yourself for something, for a peanuts. That's why we did in Liberia. We signed contracts with a company. Maybe the guy comes over from overseas, a Western guy, say, hey, I want to buy the diamond mines of Liberia, but I need to talk to the senator. And goes to the senator office and says, Madam Senator, I want to give you $3 million personally for you so that you can be comfortable. I know you need some money to run for the next election. And then in addition to that, I'm going to give you 3 Hammer Jeeps. And then I'm going to make sure 10 of your family members will get relocated to the United States, go to some of the best schools in the world. Yeah. Just for you to award that contract to me. And I want it for 100 years. And the guy sits on his table and he thinks, wow, that's a good offer.
Something good.
Without taking into consideration the future, the birthright
of the nation.
Of the nation.
Of the people you are leading.
Of the people that you were elected to lead and seek their interests. Not because of $3 million and 3 Hammond Jeeps. And for 10 of your family members to go to the United States of America to get a good education, you are going to sell the birthright of your people. They are depending on you. And now you are about to destroy that. The influence is gone. So my thing is this, Mr. Tarpeh, it is not investment, foreign investment that we need in Liberia. It is not even putting roads and street lights on our streets or building the airport that matters.
Empowering the people.
Empowering the people. Isn't the key. If I want somebody, what is the purpose of our hands and feet? Our eyes and our minds.
Someone says it's not for decoration.
It's not for decoration. The nose smells, the eye sees, the mouth speaks, the ear hears, the heart beats, the legs move, the hand work. So if you put all of these things together, what is the primary purpose of all of us being together? So this is the deal. In Liberia, we have a very wonderful culture here, which is the culture, that communal culture. Yes, culture, which is great. You can do a lot with that, but now we don't believe in that anymore. We believe in the individual strength, even in the land of poverty. So the problem here is, number one, selfishness, laziness. Number one, 3, pride. you live a lifestyle that you cannot sustain. Okay? And because of that, you don't want
whatever it takes
to
keep
maintain
that lifestyle.
that fake lifestyle. You know it. I don't have to tell what it is. You know what it is. If you went and bought a car that costs $100,000 in a nation like Liberia, that doesn't have any roads for this car. Those cars were not designed for Liberia. Absolutely not. And you bought that car. You have no mechanic for the car. You have no spare parts for the car. $100,000 could build a high school in the community where there's no school. It could provide some benches, some decks in some schools, in some community. It could build a health center to help somebody. Now, but that's about you.
Now, let me hold you there, Eric. As we discuss dependency syndrome, I'm beginning to find out that our culture, we seems to be a people that's very generous, but it seems like we don't even give for the right reason.
We're not generous.
How
Don't
many
even go
people
there
have
with
graduated from University of Liberia, and how many of them have gone back
to give back
to even fix 5 chairs for other kids that are suffering?
I totally disagree with you. We respect that we are generous people.
Are we not?
We are nowhere close to being generous.
Please convince me.
We're nowhere
We
close
are
to being
generous people.
No, we are nowhere
Okay,
close.
please convince
I
me.
tell you this.
Yeah.
Go to your typical church, Liberian church, on a Sunday morning. The pastor is trying to raise maybe $200 to buy chairs for the marketeers to sit on, the members who are congregated to sit down. And there's a guy in there that drives a car that costs $10,000, and the chair is just $15 a piece. When he's called upon, he put down $50 Liberian or $100 Liberian. The notes is even dirty and tear apart. Strap it in the plate and walk away. In the community in which he lived, there's a drainage problem.
He's waiting for the government to come and do it.
Yeah, the government, the public works ministry need to come and
Fix it.
Fix it. The representative, that's the representative. It's not my job. You know what? They put a small plank. They get pieces of plank and put over the hole, and when I pass, I go to my house. That's it. The same thing we did until we have built a small country over the years. The people back in the days, the founding fathers, sat down and said, well, we don't need to build a big university because our kids are not many. All right? Let's build something small in central Monrovia, 2 buildings, because we have about 30 students.
So that's okay.
There was no idea about
that someday
the population is going to grow up to a million more people wanting to go to school. So they built a small university. Let's build a small bridge, small lay bridge. For what reason? Oh, Luther, you own a car, I own a car. Yeah. We are only 4 guys that own cars in Monrovia.
That's okay.
I'll wait for you to pass, and then after that will pass. It would just take a minute to do that. No vision. And the scriptures talk about this. Honestly, you know that where there's no vision,
the people perish.
The people perish. It doesn't matter how many times you go to prayer or you go to mosques or you go to church. If you don't have a vision, you are a dead person. That's all you have. This is why the education becomes a burden on you. It doesn't matter how far you go with that education. You live an empty life because you don't have a vision for what you've been called to do.
Okay. Well, this is a family and society, and I mean conversation with Mr. Eric Wowoh, the Executive Director of Change Agent. He's a young Liberian man who has so much heart and giving back to his society in a very positive way all over the country. In a moment, I'm going to open the line so that you can interact with us. But we're discussing dependency syndrome. We've looked at it from the political side of it. And economically, let's look at it. If people are depending on others for survival, how does it affect the economy of the country?
The country cannot even move forward because it's the deal. Life as a whole is reciprocal. It's a give and take.
Okay.
Life was given to you. It was an invitation to become a part of something that's much bigger than yourself.
Yes.
The day you were born into a system. People were living before you got here. And people got to be living when the time you leave. So it's like a pipe. It flows through you. It doesn't settle within you. Okay? In a society where people don't believe in that, in giving, it doesn't matter what level. That society is not going anywhere. It's like eating, drinking all the beer, going to all the clubs, enjoying your life, you know, and all of that, and you never go to the toilet. Think about men who eat fufu and soup, kasali, palm butter, bring the beer, bring the palm one, we drink it, the glang, you know.
And never go to
never go to the toilet. What will soon happen to that man?
He would die.
He would die. And who kills him?
He killed himself.
He killed himself. In Liberia, we are killing ourselves. All of the NGOs in this country, over 80 to 90%, I would say 99.9%, are foreign-based NGOs. We depend on the money from outside, not from the inside.
How do we change this mindset, Eric?
Well, it's about teaching people, I think, about giving back. Everybody's a player. The 50 years old, the 70, the 80 years old, still playing active football on the field. You cannot succeed in life in isolation. You can't isolate yourself and want to succeed. The only way you succeed is to succeed along with others. The community got to succeed, and you succeed. Why are we busy fencing our houses, buying bulletproof cars, concerned about security? It's because we don't live in a safe society. The only way to make that society safe is to bring everybody else along. Everybody else have to come along. Unfortunately, we're not ready for that. So we pretend that everything is fine, and we know everything is not fine. So the empowerment, the greatness of a leader is not in the leader himself, it's in the followers.
Ability to empower those
The people are following. If you have a weak follower, then you have a weak leadership. Anybody can get at you at any time and bring you down easily. But if you have a stronger follower, they say, watch out for Reverend Tarpeh. That Tarpeh man, before you get around him, be careful, because past the first two guys, it's going to be a war. Unfortunately, even in the families, we are all weak. At the society, the community level, we are weak. In the villages, we are weak. So how do we build a nation? We have to be selfless. This generation must pay the price to save the next one. We've never done it before. And I think it's about time that everybody bring the money, bring everything, put it on the table. Don't wait for the British man. Don't wait for the American man. Don't wait for the UN. The peace we are talking about in Liberia today, who brought the peace? Was it Liberians? No. It was imposed on you. They forced the peace on you. You must have this peace. No, we don't want to have peace. No, you must have the peace. Oh, we don't want the peace.
It's good for you.
It's good for you. So even today, you can talk about really 10 years of peace because the UN is still around in Liberia.
So do you think when they leave?
When they leave, what we'll find out later on. I don't want to speculate about that. But that's when you're going to know whether Liberians learned anything from the 14-year Civil War. That's when you're going to know whether we learned anything from the 200,000 people that we killed. That's when we're going to know if we learned anything about the backwardness of our society, where there's no electricity, no running water. Nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing is happening. The university is broken, hospital broken, education system broken. Everything is broken. So who's going to fix it? The Liberian people themselves. The Africans themselves must rise up to the plate and take full responsibility and stop the blame game. My brother is the one responsible for me because he's in the States. He's not sending me small money. My uncle, the man, is the deputy director. He's not
Minister of Finance.
Minister of Finance.
And he's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything. So I'll just sit down here. My life is looking at the day, because of Reverend Tarpeh. If Tarpeh was helping me,
I wouldn't be like
I won't be like this. But you fail to realize that there's something that you have. You are not Reverend Tarpeh. You are not Eric Wowoh. You are who you are. You are not that your uncle. You are who you are. And who are you? If you can answer that question, who you are, then you will know what or where your place is in this society.
Indeed. Dependency syndrome. Those of you out there listening to Family and Society with J. Luther Tarpeh along with Eric Wowoh, we're discussing the impact that dependency syndrome have on our political system, on our economic system. And I tell you, those of you who sit there, don't want to work hard, waiting for someone to drag you out, no one is going to help you if you're not willing to help yourself. The Chinese proverb said, it is better to teach a man how to fish than to give him a fish after every fishing trip. How long?
The day you can't go to the river.
What happened to him? What happened to him? Okay, the number to call this morning, if you want to contribute to the show, is 0888-921-921. Again, 0888-921-921. Or better still, you can call 0777-921-921. Again, 0777-921-921.